and they have no consideration for how they should use their wealth. But God has given his people considerations and thoughts about how we are to use our wealth. What's up, Awaken Church? This is Andrew, and we've got another sermon Spark Notes for you from James, and we're almost finished wrapping up this series. But check out what James 4, verse 13 says. Come now, you who say, today or tomorrow we will go into such and such a town and spend a year there and trade and make a profit. This is what we started the sermon with on Sunday, is that there are people in the church, scattered congregations across the Mediterranean, who are planning and saying and doing things all revolving around a profit, all revolving around their plans. And what we did when we really looked into it is we said, hey, it's really not just a profit thing, it's really a control thing. Is that there are people in the church who are making plans and they were attributing the success of those plans to their own wisdom, their own intellect, their own foresight, their own control. And what James was saying is, hey guys, you don't even know what tomorrow's gonna bring. Are you really in tune with your soul, the value of your soul? And then last, hey, God owns everything, and your plans could fall to nothing. Your control, you could find yourself in situations where you're powerless, where all the control in the world is not gonna change what has happened. And James is saying this so that the people of these churches would realize that God is ultimately the one in control. And what he wants them to do is bring their lives, their plans under his control. And what we talked about on Sunday was this idea of hoarders, that even in America, we have this phenomenon of hoarding. And James doesn't want for the people of God to hoard their time, their resources, their money, their energy, so that they can control everything. He wants them to think about what it would look like to give to God. And so we looked at two things. And the first was this: allow your plans to worship God first. Allow your plans to worship God first. And the second thing we looked at was in that planning, allow your wealth to be judged by God. And that's a very difficult thing. Allow your wealth to be judged by God. Because later in chapter 5, James says that there are these unrighteous rich, and they have no consideration for how they should use their wealth. But God has given his people considerations and thoughts about how we are to use our wealth. And so one of the things I'd like to leave with is, have you considered faith walkers? Have you considered what it looks like to be courageous this year? Have you considered what it might look like at the end of the year to take 3 or 4 days away from work, away from your normal rhythms, and come seek God in the mountains? And you know what? It's going to cost some money. It's going to require you to maybe save now. It's going to allow your wealth to be judged by God. And it's going to maybe have your plans change, but I would encourage you, I would recommend you to come to Faith Walkers. Come start the year, end the year, and start the year of 2022 planning for the things of God, allowing God to speak to your hearts, allowing God to speak to your children. May Faith Walkers be a time where your plans and your wealth are used to glorify God. And if you don't come to Faith Walkers, that's okay. The reality is, God is still going to hold your planning and your wealth accountable to him. Thanks, guys. Love you. We'll see you.